Okay, here's my newest poem, 4-letter words, A Story of Hope. Shit, fuck, damn, hell. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4 letters. When we are young, we are taught to never utter the dreaded 4-letter words. Did you know 1/3 of profane words used in the English language are those containing 4 letters? Rage, vile, jerk. 1, 2, 3, 4 letters. There's a science to the 4-letter word. Most are one syllable, end with a closed one, ending with a consonant. That's the linguistic science to them, but what about the science behind the emotions they evoke? The shame, fury, embarrassment, resentment, pain. The way each particle of your being is ignited with one of those emotions from the simple utterance of 4 letters. Always a lady, my amazing mother always told me, never say 4-letter words. And as a child growing up, while I was navigating the landscape of a language I was continuously trying to master, I knew. Early on, I understood the power of language, the ability to build sand castles in the sky with just 26 letters, the power of saying the words, I love you, the power of saying words, I hate you, my ability to make someone feel as small and helpless as an ant under a cruel child's magnifying glass, the ability to build someone up and make them feel as if they are the absolute sole being worthy of my love. All by using language. I learned very early on that words held power. My words held power. And I learned so do the words of others. When younger, I was bullied and teased in school. When the love of my life, my childhood crush Jason, put a massive chewed piece of gum in my hair, I sobbed and I cried. And a new 4-letter word came to my mind. It was not dope, slob, jerk, all the things he was. It was hate. H-A-T-E. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4 letters. And I carried that word in my soul, and it fermented in my heart. A word disease converting the sugar in my sweet being into spiteful, sour despise. I remember the day I finally understood the true power of the 4-letter word. I was on the playground surrounded by a group of classmates who circled me chanting, Goodwill, Goodwill is your store, you shop there because you are poor. The funny thing is, I love Goodwill now. I sat there in tears as they began hurling their 4-letter word insults at me. Dumb, ugly, poor, dork, nerd. 1, 2, 3, 4 letters each. I froze, unable to fight back or defend myself. Their 4-letter words assaulting my soft, passive demeanor like blades of katanas slicing through their intended target. I sat there, helpless to their verbal war, their attack on my unknown, misunderstood faults that I had never seen when I myself looked in the mirror. Their 4-letter words pierced my naive, tender heart, and it bled and seeped sorrow, like the tears falling freely and rapidly from my eyes. I started to run through my lexicon of 4-letter words. I would not be a victim. And I struggled and thought of every 4-letter word I knew to initiate my verbal attack. And finally, through tears, I managed with all my might to muster up my courage to hurt them back, to act my revenge. And I gathered all the strength I had in my small body, ready to attack and maim and hurt. And finally, at the top of my lungs, I yelled my battle cry with all of my might. My 4-letter blade, my fighting sword, the most powerful 4-letter word I knew. Love! Love! I screamed. I bellowed the 1, 2, 3, 4 letters. And like that, in an instant, passing by faster than you can count a raindrop hitting the ground in a reprieving torrent of rain in the hot desert, I was shielded from the shame, the hurt, and the pain, and the mocking. They all stared at me. Every last one. Jaws agape, wide-eyed and silent. They backed up like scavengers, vultures, who had met their match in a wounded but strong predator, a lioness. And they slowly walked away. Some crawled, frightened of the intensity of my blade, my four-letter word. And it was then at that moment I knew that my four-letter words were more powerful than any of theirs. From then on, I used my four-letter words only to instill happiness in others. Best, good, kiss, rare, life, gift, opus, mojo, diva, care, bold, cool, safe, aces, cute, fair, gold, rise, poets. 1, 2, 3, 4 letters in each. Tonight we honor two of my favorite four-letter words, hero and hope. Count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 letters in each. Each letter makes up qualities that escape true definition. However, the Oxford Dictionary defines a hero as a person who is admired and idealized for courage, outstanding achievements, and noble qualities. My mother's uncles, my great and my grandfather were heroes fighting in the Korean and Vietnam Wars, not knowing if they'd ever return home to the loving embrace of their families. We have heroes here tonight who bravely served our great nation so that we may have the liberties that so many of us take for granted. My ability to speak to you tonight openly and freely, thank you. Our right to help choose the individuals who run our blessed country, thank you. My ability to love whom I want in harmony and peace and recognition, thank you. My right to privacy, to be free from intrusion, thank you. My privilege to get an education and as a woman to be equal to and heard by my peers, thank you. My right to worship whomever or whatever I choose, whether one or a myriad of gods or spirits or higher powers, thank you. Thank you to those of you who have served and are serving. To the rest of us, check in on your military loved ones. 22 veterans a day take their own lives. Let them know they are loved, appreciated, valued, worthy, and needed. Give more than a simple utterance of thank you for your service. Be their light when the world gets dim. They are wonderful heroes, and I bet you yourself know a hero too. The frontline workers who, even after a 16-hour shift, find the compassion to continue caring. A paramedic in the back of an ambulance fighting hard along with a patient, compressing their chest, praying to a God that this one will survive. The underpaid teachers leading a classroom, teaching skills that shape the future generations, fighting a stagnant, indoctrinating system so they may teach students to grow up to be someone who matters and to use their education to do good in the world. The Good Samaritans who by chance or fate are put into a position to save someone else's life. The bystander who runs into a house to save people and even animals from fire. The onlooker who stops to administer CPR so that someone may continue to fight another day. Authentic philanthropists who live like paupers to help those less fortunate. Those who empty their pockets so that others may go to school, have facilities, get medication, have access to basic necessities, and have a fighting chance at beating a disease. The mother or father who puts themselves before their children, coming home from a long, grueling day at work, tired, but still having the energy to play a game, listen to stories, tuck their children in bed, instilling good values and kindness in their children daily. I ask you today to find the hero in you and exemplify traits of our fine military and the aforementioned examples who sacrifice so much for others. And that leaves hope. What is hope? Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4 letters. Hope is a caged bird, wildly thrashing against the bars of its captivity. Home is a lonely child with parents overseas asking, where's mommy, where's daddy? Hope is someone who still loves all when the world has been unloving and so cold. Hope is a man losing his vision, who still passionately sees the beauty in art and others and in the world. Hope is a philosopher who wisely speaks truth about knowledge and how we should live. Hope is that man generously allowing others through their art to give. And sometimes hope is a slowly dying ember in the fire of a sad, broken heart. But hope is not a forgotten memory. Hope is where we must start. Hope for a better future. Hope for future peace. Hope for future generations. We are tarnishing the world with our self-love that is not selfless, but selfish. Social media has blinded us, accosting us with false information, misleading us, perpetuating us to desire lives we can never live, because what we see is fabricated, a lie. We grow unhappy, despondent, unsatisfied with our realities. We lose hope. All hope is lost. 4 letters we so desperately need to survive dissipate and leave from our vocabulary, our existence. Wake up. Look to your left. Look to your right. There sits someone with hope, right there. So let's live in the moment without despair. No one ever said life was fair, but how do we start and where? Use your 4-letter words. Love. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give it freely and often and to all. Give it with intensity, authenticity, and without expectations of reciprocation. Live. 1, 2, 3, 4. Live every day as if it were your last. Dance when people are watching. Eat the cupcake. Do things that scare you. Put down the phone. Use your PTO. Safe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Be someone who others feel safe around. And when they come to you, listen to them with every fiber of your being, genuinely, with compassion and empathy. Rise. 1, 2, 3, 4. What we must do together as one community, with each other's best interest in our hearts. We have to love harder. We have to rise above hate. We rise like phoenixes from the ashes of hate. 1, 2, 3, 4. And spread our wings as one into the fiery sun and burst to be reborn again. Our ashes spreading hope and love. 1, 2, 3, 4.